might achieve during the fast, and be in worse shape than you was before you even started the fast.
So maybe a salad or something like that?
Yes.
Salad.
What kind of greens? 'Cause what greens are hybrids?
Collards. Collards are for horses. Now, it's okay to juice them and drink the juice, because they have a lot of vitamins and minerals in them. And use that juice for suppositories. Put back the natural flora in the colon, kill parasites and stuff like
So
that.
that's like that wild greens that you see growing around the street corners and stuff. So there's some greens that be out there. I think people gathering them up.
Well, the greens you need is kale, which is probably top of the line, mustards. You see them go and pick wild mustards, okay, and dandelion, and poke salad, okay. But you can't eat those straight by themselves unless you plan to camp out in the toilet.
Yeah, I heard about that dandelion.
Right,
Make
because they have a very high iron content. So you can't eat too concentrated a much amount of those. Most people, they usually mix them with greens.
Right.
Put the post salad in with other greens, or the dandelion in with other greens. Like in the spring of the year when you're ready for a good cleansing.
So some mixed greens.
So, and then you have turnips, but not the turnip bottoms. So you need the turnip bottoms. But it's okay to eat the turnip green, the leaves. Okay. Then you have your callaloo, which is not really around here, but down in Central America and Jamaica, they have the green. They call it callaloo. Then you have squashes. You got all kind of squash. Okay, spaghetti squash. You can cook that and take a fork and string it out, and it strings out like spaghetti. And then you make your sauce, and there you go. So you got all kind of squash. You got greens. You got the red yam, the garnet yam, and almonds. Not all the nuts, because cashews, pecans, walnuts, all them nuts are hybrids. Sesame seeds, sunflower seeds are hybrids. So
the almonds are good.
Almonds are good. Hemp is good. Hemp seed is good.
Any other comments or questions on that? Because there was a lot of stuff he said.
So in fasting, when you're fasting, it's good to have a juice. And then you can juice those greens, dilute them with water, 50-50, and drink that. Now that's going to give you minerals and vitamins in a liquid form to help sustain you while you're not eating solid food, but you're not starving yourself. So if you're fasting and you're not drinking water, you're not eating anything, you're not drinking, you're starving yourself. Okay? And you don't want to lose muscle. You want to lose the fat, but you don't want to lose the muscle. Because once the body burns up the fat, then it begins to work on the muscle. So you don't want to lose muscle.
So it's pretty good to go with like some organic vegetables that you're speaking of, that's along with your fat.
Yes. But, juice your greens and stuff like that to get, your minerals and stuff.
And it won't be something in your body that you has to break down. The juice just flows.
It's already broke down.
Okay, right.
Fruits will give you too much sugar. So I recommend not doing too many fruits while you fast. If you do, you definitely need to dilute it 50-50. You should do that with juices anyway, because juices are very concentrated. They're not natural, but we're in a situation to where we don't swung the pendulum so far in one direction, so we got to swing it all the way over here to come back and balance itself. Okay, so we have to use stuff like that. If you've been eating right all your life, then you don't need to do those things.
That brings it up too, kind of like I was feeling spirituality that he was speaking of. For him to have insight on what he was saying, he had to be at a spiritual height to have that knowledge, intuition, gut feeling that most women have, that's a premonition that something ain't going right. So for him to suggest these things, that there is a spiritual element, and to think positive, if you would, in contrast to thinking negative. Because I know a mother feeding a baby, breastfeeding a baby, if she's angry, she can give that poison that baby, right, which the baby can die or have upset stomach because her milk is very angry. So I believe if a person would think positive, I think that you can heal yourself just by thinking positive. And like he spoke about the disease, HIV and things like that, I'm not going to try to tell somebody to be their own doctor, but a lot of times you can cure yourself just by thinking positive. If you would like to expand on that.
Mind over matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, once you start fasting, because fasting is the master healer, you can heal yourself from anything through fasting. Because once you start fasting and flushing and cleansing the body knows what to do already. The body will heal itself of whatever the pathology is. Okay? So all we need to do is get out of the way and assist the body in doing what it knows how to do naturally. It knows that you got a problem. It knows how to heal the problem, but you're eating the wrong stuff, which caused the problem, and you haven't changed or stopped, so the body can't heal itself because it's like in the solar plexus. You wonder why I call it solar plexus, because 3 inches below the navel is a pressure point called the dantine. This is where all your power emanates from. It says, out from your belly shall flow fountains of living waters that never run dry. That's that life force.
Is it also called Kai or Ki?
Chi. Well, that's Chi. That's the energy. That's the life force that's flowing, that's living water. Okay? But through eating wrong and years of bad habits and practice, well, rather than having, it's like your oven. You can turn it up to 500 degrees and you can cook. But in your oven, you got a candle flame in there. You can't cook that with a candle flame. So that force is about to go out, really. And when a person dies, it's because that flame went out. Okay. So in order to begin to cook, which means increase your consciousness, higher intelligence, a clearer state of consciousness. Well, when you fast, these things begin to clear up. You find your mind clears up. Your thoughts get clear. You can think better. Stuff comes to you. Things come to you. You can think about, I used to think things and they would happen right away when I was fasting. During that period of time, almost 3 months, everything be happening. There's a whole new world, and I had to stop because